Hey guys, this is Comic Uno, and today I'm doing a review for Bitten, Season 2, Episode 7. So let's talk about this episode. But before I start talking about this episode, just want to congratulate Bitten for Season 3. That is awesome, so looking forward to that. And it's always nice to be in, towards the end of the season and know that's coming back for another season. So I guess us lucky American viewers, if you call us lucky that we're watching this a couple of months later, at least we know that it's being renewed while we watch the show. But let's talk about this episode. So this is actually a focus episode on Nick. Nick finds his mother Lily, which has been kind of a story arc that's been going on since last season, when Nick's father died and said his mother's name. So they're finally going with that story and making him meet his mother. But the problem with this is that if a human finds out that someone is a werewolf, they end up having to die. So Nick has to make the decision, should I, even interact with my mother, or should I just leave it be? But Paige, who's kind of his new love interest, says we should go. Let's, try and meet her. So I actually really like those two chemistry, because I think it brings out a lot of good character traits from Nick. Other story going on is that we learn a little bit more about the werewolves outside of North America. Learning the Russian werewolf pack, the Spanish werewolf pack, and they're all very backwards in their values. They believe that humans should not know that werewolves exist, but we get to see Jeremy say, well, I'll make the decision of who should know and who shouldn't know. And also the other packs are trying to learn a bit more about Lena and how the hell she is a werewolf. And of course the audience is still trying to figure that out also. How the hell is she the only female werewolf? Even though that's not a big question throughout the show, it's still a question that's in the back of our mind. Other story going on is that Savannah is still exploring her powers and has a vision that Lena might die from the Russian werewolf. So we'll see how that story goes. And the cliffhanger is that we have our main villain who takes over Clay's body. So is Clay dead? Probably not, but our main villain, Alaric, his body falls down, so what's going on there? We'll find out, I'm guessing, with these last couple of episodes. So yeah, I thought this episode was pretty solid, and honestly, what I enjoyed the most about this episode was Nick's story. I always felt like Nick was a character with a lot of potential, but just not a lot of story time, or a lot of screen time, It's mostly that he was a player, and that's pretty much it. But now we get to see him in settled relationship and, meeting his mom, really getting to the core of his emotions. And I really, really liked the scenes with his mother. I thought both actors did a wonderful job with that scene. And it really made me want to see Lily again. But it seemed from that scene that we might not see Lily, but I'm hoping by the end of the season maybe they will change the rules about human and werewolf interaction. We really don't know where that story is going to go, and maybe Nick will have a chance to go see his mother again. So that story was wonderful, and again, it's great to see Nick have a story arc, and hopefully that story arc continue, because this has been a long story arc coming. Also, the premonition of Elena dying, that's always making the audience a bit tense. Like, oh, we don't want Elena to die. We all know Elena won't die, but there's still that tension of will they, won't they kill her off, and for a little while, because obviously she's the main character. She won't be totally killed off, but who's going to do it? Who will betray her? Who won't betray her? And I feel like Savannah's such a wild card because she's learning about her abilities, so will she do it? Who knows? So yeah, I'm really curious to see where that story goes. And it's also interesting to see all the other werewolves kind of interact in this episode. So like I said, it's a very solid episode that explores a lot of different interesting areas of the Bitten world, which is something I really like about this show, is the built-in mythology of Bitten and them really growing that mythology in Season 2. So pretty solid episode. I'd give this episode 4 stars. Hope you guys enjoyed. Of course, I will have another Bitten review next week. And this is Comic Uno. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter. Don't forget to like my Facebook page. Also, in the description below, there's links for my comic book, Like Father, Like Daughter. And don't forget to like the Facebook page of Like Father, Like Daughter. I'll see you guys later.